Welcome to the shit show.
It is All Elite Wrap-Up for August 29th, 2024. Tom is sitting over there on the other side of the screen if you're watching us live on YouTube. I'm Tim. We've got so much to talk about. We had AEW All In this past weekend, which we have so much to talk about, Tom and I. We had AEW Dynamite happened last night. Also so much to talk about. And we are on the doorstep of AEW All Out, which we've been to in person at one time. Still have the chair sitting over here, Tom.
Me too. Yeah, right up there.
And always a blast. I mean, anything going down in Chicago is likely to pop off. So we will talk about All Out. It's still Chicago this year, right? All Out. I think it's still.
Well, it's the same kind of Chicago. Well, it's the same kind of Chicago that we went to. It's not really Chicago, but it's Chicago.
Yeah, it's
Chicago.
It's like when they go, we're in Kansas City and we're in Independence. You know, it's like
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, you kind of are, but you're not.
Right. Yeah. It's like you are, but you still have to drive 30 minutes to get to actual Chicago. Right.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're going to be there again. But yeah, we were all doing it, right? All out, all in, all left, all right, all rise, all of it, all sit. You know, it's all of it, all at once, and
all 9 inches.
Yeah,
whatever they say. Yeah.
all of it, all the time.
That's what they say, right? Yeah. How's Tom?
But we watched, yeah, good. But we watched All In at the Comedy Club.
We did. We went
Kansas
on a
City.
mandate, as it were.
Well, we watched it with other like-minded individuals.
That was the best.
Although there was the individual who was very pleasant and very nice, but then we saw the background of his cell phone, and it was a picture of CM Punk.
Pepsi Phil.
And I immediately said, "You know what?
We're not going to be friends with everybody.
Someone else.
Yeah,
let's talk to someone else
here. No, that was great. The AEW All In watch party at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. Shout out Dustin Kaufman, good friend of the show here, owner, founder, operator of the Comedy Club of Kansas City there. It was a blast. And Dustin and us, we are talking to see if we can do some more of these. There are some scheduling problems that we might have to work through. So if we're going to do some more of these AEW watch alongs, which was great. I mean, there was dozens of people there enjoying it, having some food, some beverages. And just enjoying wrestling. We did meet some folks. We talked to some folks about wrestling that we had never met before, so that's exciting. That's a blast. If you missed it, man, you're just not one of the cool kids, I guess.
That happens. But also at All In, we were watching, and as you all listened to the last episode, you know, we made picks, and then the loser has to wear the shirt after the pay-per-view. If you're, again, watching on the live stream or YouTube later, you're going to notice I'm wearing a Grouch shirt. Yeah, I'm wearing a Grouch shirt. Tim.
Oh no.
What are you wearing?
My camera just went out. It's
it's okay. Just describe it then.
It's a shirt. Yeah, I am once again wearing a shirt.
Yeah, what is it though? What kind of shirt is it?
Yeah, God damn it, I'm wearing this Jeff Jarrett shirt. This thing, I fucking lost. You know, I had to pick against what I thought, but I knew you were going to pick. So, you know, it was one of these, like, if I pick the same as Tom, we're going to tie, and what good does that do me? So I had to roll. And so it was kind of close until the end there, and then things just went south for me on the last couple matches. But I did what I had to do, and we are where we are. And Tom, this shirt's still the black cloud. It's just things are getting worse at the house here. I swear, Tom, I was sleeping the other night, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and the shirt was standing at the foot of the bed watching me sleep.
Oh, it's a little bit of the Ring.
The shirt.
That horror movie, The Ring.
It really, I shuddered. I sat up real quick, and then it was gone, hanging up, you know, where it normally was. But
the more you're wearing it, are you becoming more like him? Like, are you starting to listen to country music and like trying to create scams?
Don't you dare say that, Slapnuts.
Yeah, you are. There it is. Hey,
God damn it! You know what? I did think about buying some white pants and some hair dye, though.
Jesus of Mary! Oh my God!
Maybe
I
thought
hope
about growing the handlebar mustache.
Not a good look.
Caught myself doing one of these here.
Not a good strut either. Hey, but All In was very fun. We're gonna probably recap some of the. Yeah, except for you great for me. And again, we were at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. Very fun, eventful time there.
But let's kick off. Journey Pro and Fountain City Pro are good friends over there. Fountain City Pro for hanging out with us while we were doing that there. Shout out to those guys. But let's
definitely.
get on with it.
So we're going to probably talk about All In as we recap AEW Dynamite. But let's get into the recap of Dynamite. And again, we'll touch on what happened this past weekend and what we can look forward to next weekend. Not this weekend, but the next weekend, because that's All Out. A little back to back there almost. But it kicks off with someone who was not at All In, Jon Moxley, walking out here like a non-playable character in a video game, like a Gran Turismo 3
he
or
looked
something.
like a CEO at the office with a relaxed dress code. You know what I mean?
See that? Well, the demeanor though wasn't like
no,
it
the
was
demeanor
not,
like, but the dress is what I was like. We're just like the black T-shirt and the green jeans. I was like, this is an interesting look for Jon Moxley.
Yeah, but what was the game where you could like kill people and steal their cars and all that? All the kids like it.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
That's it. I never played
all
the
game.
Kids
like it.
You
can kill people and steal their cars.
Yeah.
No, I love that game. GTA.
I don't. Fun fact about me. I don't like those games. Those like, hey, just complete a mission or walk around. Nope. I need. Give me something.
Oh,
like,
you're missing. GTA 5's got an awesome story. Like when you play the story mode and you play it all the way through. Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah,
neat.
Really good stuff.
I'll watch a movie. Jon Moxley though was there.
Than the movie. So much better than the movie.
Okay.
Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2. Best fucking story ever. Anyway, go ahead.
Sure. Jon Moxley walks out. And Tony Schiavone and Excalibur and Taz are like, what the hell is this? We don't have this on the rundown. Tony Schiavone, though, is like, I'm a reporter. I'm a journalist.
Figure this out.
I went to J school, so I'm going to walk down there and ask him some questions. Tony Schiavone walks down there, and Jon Moxley says, I'm here to talk to someone who's nothing like me and also 100% like me. I'm here to talk to someone who isn't here. And then he says, Darby Allin, we have a conversation that's long overdue. And then he kind of says, all right, then he ends it with a
that's
trust
all I have
me.
to say about that.
Well, he ended it with a trust me, I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't seen you in 2 months, but okay, sure. And then Tony Schiavone's like, I'm going to wrap this up. That was Jon Moxley. We got a great night for you. And then Jon Moxley stops as he was about to leave the ring, turns around, and then says, it's going to take some time for everybody to wrap their brains around this. But this is not your company anymore. Tim, what the fuck was this about?
So that's where things really, and I'm still left with a little weirdness on this. Because we did get a little more later, but not much more. Okay. So I thought you were mad at Darby, right? You said Darby's a bitch, and he's gonna bitch out. Come find me. Stop being a bitch, bitch. You fucking bitch. And then he leaves, right? And so Tony Schiavone's like, cool. Everybody, Jon Moxley. And then he's like, oh, yeah, shit. And this almost kind of what it felt like for a second. I almost forgot I was supposed to do this too. And then he went back and was like, also, this is not your company anymore, which it's not Tony Schiavone's company. So I was like, what are we doing here? It kind of felt weird to me, and it still does. Now, I'm going to think, obviously, it's left to be open-ended, so everybody's talking about, what is this? What could this be? Is this a faction? Is this him taking over? Is this an NWO? Is this New Japan? Is this Shane McMahon? So I don't know where we're going with it, but...
So, full disclosure, last night, Tim was doing a lot of the live posting. I was unable to watch AEW Dynamite live because I was celebrating my wife's birthday. So we were having festivities out there.
Wife.
Yes, it was very, very enjoyable time. Took her out to a nice restaurant, did some other things like that. So I
Burger King
did not, don't worry about it.
Nice.
I took her to where okay. I took her to a place where she ate. Okay.
Yeah. Took her to a place where she could have it her way.
You don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say here
$6.99 footlongs, I heard. All right.
is I did not catch that. So Shane McMahon, man, really?
I mean,
really?
I don't know. That's what people on the internet. That's what I'm saying. I think they leave this open. They didn't say what he's doing because they want everybody to be like, what is it? Right? Get the internet a flurry about what is this? What is this? But some of that, the people on the internet, which we don't like much, say, is this Shane McMahon coming in? Which, remember, there was this meeting of Tony Khan and Shane McMahon, which we cast aside saying, they were two dudes crossing in an airport, you know what I mean? Which might all still be the case, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
And this may have nothing to do with Shane McMahon, which I hope honestly is the case. But, right now I'm just left with Moxley's mad about something, but now I feel like he's mad about two things. You got Darby.
So, yeah.
He's got
the
company.
Because so there's a lot to unpack here just on the face value. So let's also talk, we'll jump ahead, but then we'll go back in chronological order because, again, the Moxley thing is kind of adjacent to All In, All Out things that have happened.
He's
right.
Very central figure of the stories here.
So we go backstage later on in the night. Cameraman approaches Moxley and he's like, "Hey, what was all that?" And Moxley says, "You know what we could really use around here? A lesson in humility." And he walks up to this guys, and Marina Shafir takes him out. It was funny at the end. The last security guy was like, "Hey, you know what? Nope.
Yeah.
Good to go. You guys get a paycheck here." And he took off.
So I'll say this. You probably knew upon sight that was Marina Shafir.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough, and they haven't shown me enough of Marina Shafir to commit to memory who it was. So I was just like, who is this? Mm-hmm. And then they were like, Marina Shafir. And I was like, like, what? Why? Right.
Well,
and that still needs some explaining.
Yeah. But she fits the aesthetic, right? If you're going to say who's a male version, obviously skill level is different, but the male version, the female version of Jon Moxley, you may say Marina Shafir, right? Kind of I'm badass. I don't really talk. I could really kick your ass if this was a real
not wearing
fight that we're doing here.
Logos and bright colors.
Yeah,
and shit
I'm not
here.
doing all the stuff here.
Anti-establishment.
But there's a lot to unpack here. So here's how I took it watching it today. Again, I wasn't in the conversations, and if I don't watch Dynamite live and kind of join the conversations online, I don't get online and then you're like, what were people saying? I just watch it myself, right? But here's where I was thinking. You've got Darby Allin, and Darby Allin has always been the guy who has said to the other three pillars of AEW and to really anyone else, I'm AEW. You know why? Like, this place exists for people like me. I'm AEW. Like, I'm never gonna leave. He didn't do the MJF get a fucking tattoo, but he might as well have, right? And so you start to unpack what Jon Moxley said. Lesson in humility. This isn't your company anymore. We just came off an event that had over 50,000 people in London. Marina Shafir, who's also been kind of an outcast. Jon Moxley was not a part of this year's All In. Could be one of these like disgruntled employees takes back from the stars they're jealous of. That could be potentially the angle. Here's where, though, we need to figure this out. At All In, your new trios champions are Willer Yuta, Claudio, and Pac. Now, for breaking kayfabe for a moment, it seems as if, unfortunately, the Lucha Bros are gone. R.I.P. They're going to be wrestling Rey Mysterio in 2 weeks. Whoop. Don't know what happened there. They're going to be wrestling Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar in 2 weeks, and I don't know, a four-man four-way or whatever the fuck they call it. So that stinks.
For the rights to the LWO.
Oh no, that's crazy. So is Moxley still in the Blackpool Combat Club? If he's not, did Pac essentially take his place? Or here's another theory that you could run with. Is he now going back into the recruiting phase, right?
Yeah.
Blackpool Combat Club is taking this bitch over. We had Yuta. We've been kind of hold on the recruiting front.
Except
here's Marina Shafir.
Bryan
Here we're going to
Danielson
grab
is
other
talking
people.
about loving AEW and defending the title in its honor. So, and maybe that's where we get some fight between them. That would be interesting. I didn't think about recruiting her to be a female member of the Blackpool Combat Club, which does fit very well.
Yeah.
What doesn't fit is Moxley is suddenly on a rampage and he just has random other female with him, because we all know, like, again, we have not shied away from this, and this doesn't have to mean a huge thing in storylines, but like, he's married to Renee, right? It was a little weird after he did the first thing, and then Renee's right there smiling doing an interview with the fucking yuck crew, right?
Yeah.
The conglomeration of chuckle fucks, right? So that was almost kind of weird from that. And then now he's just here with other random woman, right? Like, so it's kind of like, I need more explaining on this. I know we're going to get it, so I'm being positive and patient. But I think I figured it out. Because you mentioned she fits the aesthetic, right? The anti-establishment, the not your company anymore. And, you know, we cast aside the Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon's coming over and they're doing AEW Underground. They're going to do bare knuckle fights in a dark room with a DJ. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I would trust, if they really want that vision to happen, that Moxley and Marina Shafir.
Because that was a Bloodsport copy.
Yes, exactly. And John Moxley's been, and you know who's a free agent? Oh, Jesus Christ, Tim. You know who's a free agent?
Lashley.
Well, and another motherfucker, the person who created Bloodsport, Josh Barnett.
Oh.
So what if we get Lashley, MVP, Josh Barnett, John Moxley, Marina Shafir.
Bare knuckle fucking people up all over the place.
Seriously, like all you really need to do is like a real trade, like a real life breaking kayfabe trade, and get Shayna Baszler over, and then you got a fucking whole squad right there.
And then the Blackpool Combat Club can be like, whatever, man, that's us. And it'd be like, no, I'm about to, you guys are play fucking combat. Let me show you how it's really done. And then he murders the Blackpool Combat Club, and then we just have Bryan Danielson doing his own thing.
Well, yeah, and then we figure out what we can do with Claudio and Yuta. Well, because, you know...
ROH.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like in the Blackpool Combat Club stuff. Because, you know, another person who's actually competed in MMA now, they've never really made it their character, but they've also never shied away from it. Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa's in the mixed martial arts. So if we're wanting to run with this real people, real fighting thing,
well, then maybe you can get CM Punk back. You know, he's an MMA fighter.
Okay. Hey, he tried.
He fought.
He did.
He fought.
He tried. Look,
he fought.
I have seen many of men and women get to the tunnel to walk to the ring and say,
Really?
Oh yes. I have seen one guy distinctly. I won't say his name because he still lives in the area, and I don't think he'll listen to this, but it could get back to him somehow, right? So I won't say his name. However, he'll know this. He got right to the door, the cage door. He got the Vaseline put on his nose. The guy's announced his name. Put the Vaseline on his eyebrows, and he looked at his corner person, who I won't say, and said, I can't do it. And then just walked down the stairs and walked right out. Like, you know, Memorial Hall. So he walked down the stairs and then just walked straight through.
That's not a short walk.
Well, and I didn't see him and I'm not kidding you, I didn't see him for just 6 months. And I was seeing him every day.
Yeah,
and he hid for a while.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he hid for a while. And that was a big dude. Like, it wasn't like I'm 145 pounds. Let's see if I can do this.
Find at that moment. Just thought like the same.
Never did it. Never actually did it. Yeah. So to CM Punk's credit,
he did it. Yeah.
He did it. Right. Again, he did it on the biggest stage.
He fought. That's what I said. He fought.
So credit to him, right? Credit to him for that. But again, his skill level, he sucks.
The man's got guts. Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, but he sucks. But anyhow, so we could be doing that. Josh Barnett, Bobby Lashley, MVP, all free agents, all could come over. Side note, Bobby Lashley, he's been on the show before in a prior iteration of Spanish Announce Table. I consider him an acquaintance. I have his phone number. He likes some of my stuff on social media. I do the same for him. Right?
Drop that name.
Well, what I was going to get at, though, is he's doing these videos where he's going to box. Fun fact about Franklin. he's 48 years old. Brother, look, I'm not saying he's not a super freak athlete.
I mean, 48 for him is you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and delusion's real. You know what I mean? We got Mike Tyson out here thinking he's gonna beat Jake Paul. Like that's gonna ever fucking happen. Dude can't even take
still gonna happen. I forgot they were talking about that.
The motherfucker couldn't take a flight because of health concerns, but he thinks he's gonna box a gentleman who only is doing boxing right now in his prime. He had
to miss a flight because of health concerns, and he's gonna go.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, can't do it." And then that's when Jake Paul boxed Mike Perry.
And every boxer thinks they've got the one punch in them, don't they? Like, all of them think, just give me one. And I mean, look, that may be true in a lot of instances, right? I bet you Mike Tyson can still drop a lot of folks with one swing, but like probably not Jake Paul in a sanctioned bout, right? Yeah.
He can't do that. Yeah. So anyone listen, free betting advice. I believe Jake Paul's going to go in as the underdog. Bet a fucking paycheck. He is going to win that fight.
Bet your boss's paycheck is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do a thing, but bet your paycheck that you'll get him. I've already heard people think that like Mike Tyson's good. Anyhow, I digress. Let's get back into this. So
Tom, you should start taking bets. Become the bookie. Start. There you go.
Yeah. Well,
you just have to be ready to break legs. You know what I mean?
Well, but also I had a friend, James Krause, who thought he could do that. And
but you don't have like, that's not how this goes. Like you're not training one of these two gentlemen.
You know what I'm saying? I know some people who could, fix it. Anyhow.
You might have some loose connections to one of these crews, so you don't want to even be involved. That's true. I get it. Yeah. That's true. You probably have contacted somebody who's contacted one of these folks.
Definitely.
You just don't want to be tied
to it. Yeah. No, I know. I have BJ Flores' contact. That's Jake Paul's first trainer. Nope. Yeah, I totally could.
Nope. Now, if I were to play some bets, I don't know none of you folks. We just don't even know your name, there, Travis.
Yeah, but Tim, we've said this to 10,000 people on YouTube right now, so we can't really go too far into that. So you know how that goes.
Oh, at least 10,000. Yeah.
It's always 10,000. But so we got some fun theories moving around. The worst of those would be Shane McMahon, but we'll see what happens. Now, as you mentioned,
AEW Underground, Dynamite Underground is what they're going to do. That'll be the third hour
explosion
of Dynamite. Yeah. It's the third hour of Dynamite. Yeah, it's probably called something like that, Explosion, or just something, Ashes, right? Or something, right?
I hate that. Yeah. That's gonna be
Aftermath. Yeah, something.
All right. So Renee Paquette is backstage, and she is with the conglomeration plus Willow Nightingale and Hook. Hook came out with the chips, though. He did come out with the chips. So
and that's what I said. The world feels right when Hook has his chips.
Yep.
And I liked it. Hook didn't say much here, right? When they were like, he was like, hey, wasn't that amazing? How did that feel? And he's like, oh, yeah, it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It happened. Great. Dope. But Willow Nightingale, the big part of this interview was Willow Nightingale picked her stipulation because her and Ishii beat Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander at All In.
Big Stoke!
Took the pinfall, but Willow Nightingale picks a Chicago street fight against Chris Statlander at All Out in Chicago. What do you think about a street fight?
I'm excited for that. And we're going to have Stokely Hathaway doing all kinds of fuckery, right, involved in that. And it's going to be glorious. It is going to be hard-hitting, so it's going to be a great street fight. Because what we know is Willow is the queen, the goddess of this shit. And Statlander looks afraid of nothing, right? I've seen her afraid to do nothing. And Stokely is this creative genius who's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeves to throw in the right moments, both serious and funny. And so I think they're going to come away with a home run off of this thing.
I hope so. You said the queen of this shit and all of that. Man, it would be cool if Nick Gage made an appearance in a Chicago street fight.
We still need that intergender tag team. Right?
Yeah.
They can take on Bussy, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. It would be one for the ages. But
maybe I shouldn't say take on Bussy. Maybe I should say challenge. You get the idea. Yeah.
You understand what we're saying here. Hey, so we get a first ever matchup here. Next up is in the ring. the Stone Pitbull tomorrow.
Mm.
Tomorrow. How do you say his first
Tomohiro.
name?
Tomohiro.
Tomohiro Ishii
Yeah.
versus Hangman Adam Page. And as you mentioned, hard hitting. Brother, this was hard hitting. These motherfuckers act like they really owed each other money or something.
Again, though.
Yeah, I mean, we went after it. There's like all of those noises. And
I'll say this. Yeah. I found myself at one point saying, like, okay, Ishii is cool, right? Like, he's cool, he's hard hitting, it's great. But just the use here, and especially with the conglomeration, like, it just kind of, it was leaving me empty. But then when you get somebody who knows how to use it, right? Especially in this moment where Hangman's crazy, right? And we're trying to establish that Hangman's crazy and he's stopping at nothing. Well, now here's a lot to have to try to not stop against, right? And they gave it to each other. It was great.
Yeah, they went at it, and it ends up with Hangman Adam Page with the buckshot lariat, then the dead eye, and he gets the victory, or the dead eye, then the buckshot lariat.
Mm-hmm.
And he wins. And man, these two guys are exhausted, and they're just laying there after a hard fought battle. Even Taz said, like, hey, these two guys, if they fight 10 times, it might be 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a very evenly matched fight that we had here. And so as Hangman's gathering himself after a hard-fought victory, here comes Swerve Strickland. And Swerve got right in Hangman's face. He said, basically, hey, you got involved in my match. Didn't like it. Don't like that I'm not the champion anymore. Lost my title at All In. But, 1, they're always going to say I'm champion.
Mm-hmm.
2, you look like an idiot. And 3, I can kick your ass. Hangman then, his retort was, you've never been a champion. You're a fraud. You're not what it is to be a AEW competitor. And the only times you beat me is when you had people on the outside helping you.
Yeah, but he did kind of throw in. He's like, you are not better than me, which we had not necessarily, like, Hangman, we've all been saying, like, Hangman has done nothing wrong. He's getting revenge for his family. But now we've revealed, no, a bit of this is professional jealousy with Hangman, right? He had not admitted it until this point either.
Yeah, so they've had 3 matches in AEW, and as the record books would show, Hangman is 0-2-1.
Mm-hmm.
So he had mentioned the first time they fought, Prince Nana helped. The second time they fought, it was Prince Nana and Brian Cage. And then the third time, he couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
Well, so then Swerve Strickland says, oh, how about this? We'll keep everyone out and we'll put us 2 in cage match at All Out. Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get Hangman's answer, though, Swerve decides to screw with him just a little bit more. He talks about how at the pay-per-view that he fought Samoa Joe and Hangman. First off, Hangman quit, not because he had been beaten, just because Swerve wouldn't win the title that way.
Right.
Coward, he says. But then he also says that morning drove up to your house and was watching you. And you took your pregnant wife to the hospital to be a father for the second time. And then he kind of says in a roundabout way, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Isn't that really who you are?
Yeah.
Because this shit has passed you by. Like you don't have the heart for it anymore. And Hangman, and I'm paraphrasing there, obviously, Hangman doesn't say anything, just walks out. So what do you make of kind of a heel persona from Swerve going back to the, hey, I was watching your family, and also Hangman going, I'm out of here. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, I like that we do have a lot of ambiguity here as to, like, why somebody is good or bad here in this, and they're both kind of good and bad in some ways, and you know what I mean, there's some, but I like that Swerve also is not the, oh my god, the good guys finally have to get me, I gotta run and hide, sneak attack on him. He's like, yeah, no, I did do the sinister shit, you know what I mean, like I did fucking break into your house, and I did it again when you didn't know about it. I'm gonna do it again tomorrow, because I'm fucking better than you and I'm in your head. I see you moaning over there. Did the Royals lose?
No, just a stupid, stupid play. But we can
So
continue.
not yet. Royals didn't lose yet, is what you're saying.
No, now it's tied.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, let's get back. Yeah. Sorry. Anyhow, but I'm also sad for Hangman. Why does he have to
Yeah.
leave?
No, but that's so I like Swerve being, like, fuck it, fuck you, yeah. Like, again, we were talking off air about shit talkers in sports. I said, just fuck it, be a shit talker. We got to own up to it. You know what I mean? Like, just like, don't give me some thing that like you're doing this for justified reasons and shit or whatever, right? Like Swerve is making he's not lying to you, right? Yeah. No, I'm playing mind games with you. I'm fucking with you because I can, because you're weak. You're susceptible to them, and that's why I am better than you, which you have a problem with.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because Swerve had been babyface this basically entire time, and then leading into the Danielson match was like, hey, you know what works better for me? Fucking with people. However, he lost his first match since kind of fucking with somebody. And then from there, I don't know. It seemed like he was maybe reaching, is how I would describe it. It was hey, you know what worked in this playbook? Talking about the family. So let's talk about the family again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt a little desperate, maybe, from Swerve to say, like, hey, you know what made you so crazy? Me talking about your family. So guess what I'm going to do? Talk about your family. And I get that, like, hey, let's see if it works again. But also it feels like you couldn't think of another thing to really, pry at Hangman.
Well, so maybe that's it. Like, this is just these two guys, I think, just don't like each other. They really hate each other. They both wish each one of them was not there. And so they keep saying it's about these other things, and to some extent it is, but it's really just about it. It's you or me here now. And so, yeah, I like that, like, kind of running out of shit to say, right? The real truth came out of Hangman. Yes, I'm mad about my family, but, like, it still is about proving to everybody and me that, no, you don't win here. I'm better than you.
Yeah, and sometimes the best, rivalries in pro wrestling start from one place. And then as time goes on, as you mentioned, we don't really have any else to say. We just hate each other, right? You think of Stone Cold and The Rock, right? It started as corporate Rock, representing Vince McMahon, and Stone Cold Steve Austin having to fight that guy because really he hates Vince McMahon. But then it became personal between him and The Rock.
Yeah.
And then by WrestleMania 19, it just became a, hey, you know what? I need to do this. I need to beat you at this place at this time. All right, well then fucking try, right? Like, there was no real like angle as it was. It was just, we know we fucking hate each other. And this could be that rivalry where we're going to get to, and I'm making it up here, All Out. We're not numbering them, but let's just say we did All Out 13, and it's Swerve and Hangman, just because one of them hasn't actually beat them at All Out, right? Let's say they've won but Hangman's never actually beat them at All Out. So this is his last chance at All Out. I gotta fucking beat you there.
We're 27 and 27.
Exactly.
This is for all the marbles here.
Yeah, and I haven't beat you at this one place, so let's do it at that one place.
Beat you in the month of August.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something like that, and that's great because they have great chemistry. What the thing that I love the best is they both have an aura, but it's in completely different capacities. Right. So Hangman does have the cowboy shit kind of gimmick, right? The riding on a horse, drinking a big beer, and fighting you in a bar that we don't know the name of. Where Swerve is, guess what? I'm with West Side Gun performing in 55,000 people. Look at all this cool jewelry I have. And by the way, I'll kick your ass in the parking lot right now. And you're like, it's the same thing, but kind of different. And so should be interesting. Cage match at All Out, which next week we'll pick. Also, we'll say it again towards the end of the show and on social media. But next week's show, Wednesday night after Dynamite, because next Thursday is the start of the NFL season, where our Kansas City Chiefs right here try to go for a three-peat and kick off the NFL season.
Three-peat season.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy. Feed the needy. Speaking of feeding the needy, we got our fill of Jamie Hayter. She returns to in-ring action, which, Tim, I'm going to tell you a couple things from the last time she competed to last night.
Okay.
The last time she competed, CM Punk was still recovering from his bicep after All Out. That's how long ago it was.
Gosh, that's crazy. Okay.
Tony Storm beat her for the title when Tony Storm was in the Outcast. Wow. Timeless Tony Storm was not a thing.
That's right, because losing that is what spun her into Timeless Tony Storm.
Yeah, she beats Jamie Hayter to get the title,
right?
And then at All In later, she lost it. Yeah. So just a little benchmarks of how long Jamie Hayter's been out of the ring, but she returns against the Outcasts, Harley Cameron. And I'll say this: Harley Cameron is she feels like the female Cutler. You know what I mean? Where 100%. It's like just dorky fucking nerd. Okay. Yeah. And Harley Cameron's going to hit on Anthony Bowen and say we would make a great couple, even though Anthony Bowen is not interested in women romantically. Just keep it moving, right?
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in wrestling, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yes.
He's gay. He's gay.
Yeah. In a positive way.
He's gay chant.
Yeah. Loved it. Yeah, but then Harley Cameron, it doesn't stop her, right? She just keeps it moving, and then she's a little bit crazy, and Saraya kind of always has to rein her in.
Great. I think she's got a lot of potential in being a great character in wrestling.
Yeah, I love her.
And she's obviously working on the wrestling part of the wrestling, but she's got the obnoxious character stuff down already.
Yes, and that makes for TV I want to see, right? Work on the wrestling stuff.
We can train the wrestling. And again, if you can master a handful of things in the wrestling, then the wrestling becomes about telling the story you're telling about, right? Like the physical stuff in the
punch
wrestling,
and kick.
We should be able to teach you a 5 moves of doom, but now can you use the psychology? That's the thing you got to get into. But anyway.
Yeah. Punch and kick, and I think you'll be okay. But Jamie Hayter, again, she returns to the ring.
F5 worked pretty good.
Yeah. But Jamie Hayter returns, and what'd you think? Jamie Hayter, again, it was kind of a quick match.
This reminds me... Like Jamie Hayter suddenly coming out now in like bright colors and like the red hair reminds me of like when NXT was like, we're colorful now. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden.
Yeah. A little bit.
Other than that, good. I mean, crowd is ready for this. And that's about it, is all I can say is crowd is ready for this. She showed up, she did her thing, but like, we haven't heard anything from Hayter yet, right? Like we don't got a mission or we haven't got nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool. She's back. But she's back, I think, right?
Yeah, so she came back at All In because Saraya says she's the best female wrestler from England. Jamie's also from England, so no, I am.
This was the great, though, because at the watch party, she said that. She said, I'm the greatest women's wrestler from England. You went, name one other one or something like that.
I said, name a second. I said, name a second.
And everybody laughed because they were like, yeah, what didn't it? And then later we got the answer. Okay, right, yeah. But Saraya's probably still right, given a breadth of career, but anyway.
Right, exactly, yeah. But after the match here on Dynamite, Jamie Hayter beats Harley Cameron. Then she tries to get at Saraya, and then Saraya, runs away. So I feel like maybe we're going to revisit how the Outcast took out Jamie Hayter. Now that group's really not a thing anymore, but Saraya was part of it. So then I'm coming after you, Saraya, something like that. But we keep it moving on Dynamite, and we get MJF next. And he says he's in so much pain. He lost his championship and no one was there to help him. So he denounces his American citizenship. You assholes, you all suck.
Except that the only place redeemable in the country was the greatest place on earth. And Long Island or whatever the fuck he says. Yeah.
Plainville, Shore, whatever the fuck
We're
it was.
From Jersey. You're not.
Jersey. Yeah, Jersey.
But anyway, he's denouncing his U.S. citizenship. That one hit me hard. I was like, oh, this is it. This is what finally kills the Republic here. This is it. When the history books look back on When did the dynasty of the United States end? This was the moment, right?
Dynamite.
This was the like, and then
Dynamite.
MJF denounced his citizenship,
Mhm.
and
The dam broke.
we never could recover from that.
Yep. One thing though that I thought was interesting, because AEW does do a great job of planting seeds and then coming back to them. He does say, Will Ospreay, I haven't forgot about you. There's going to be a moment when you want to etch your name in the history books as an AEW world champion, and then I'm going to be there and I'm going to ruin it for you. That could happen. I would not be shocked if these two just go separate ways. Will Ospreay takes on, and I'm making it up here, Ricochet for the AEW World Championship. Right when he's about to win it, there's MJF to fucking cut him out.
I can almost guarantee it, especially if Ospreay's here for a while and is one of the main key players, which everything appears that'll be the case. Everything MJF has been involved in, I think we've discovered is his creative genius for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
The MJF character does not let this go forever.
Right.
He may not be actively following Will Ospreay around for the next 5 years, but he's keeping an eye on him. And when he sees a moment of weakness, he will strike.
Yeah, and he typically doesn't say too many things that are just fluff. If he's going to say something, he'll try to follow up on it. Now, he may not be successful about it, but he will follow up on it. So we'll see how that goes. But then he turns his attention to Daniel Garcia, and he says, Daniel Garcia, you rat. I tried to take you to be something, and you failed. If I ever see your face in this company, whop! Here's Daniel Garcia, and he hits him in the back. And then we got a brawl. Boom, bop, bop, boom, boom, boom. Fight, 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 fight. One person has the advantage, then the other person has the advantage. Bop, bop, boom, bop, 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 bop. That's an original. It's called Paris.
Always go back and forth. It's interesting.
It's always back and
forth.
Over here. Well, I will say in this one, at least, it was because security guards like stopped the momentum. So at least,
yeah.
If
these damn security guards were in the way.
Yes.
Now, even though I can get in a Royal Rumble and outlast 29 of them.
Now, here's where I want your opinion, because I like this. Daniel Garcia cuts a very passionate promo, says basically, I'm going to break your neck. Beating you is now my fetish. And at All Out, I'm going to beat you up, right? And then he throws the fucking microphone and hits MJF, which was awesome. I love that part.
I immediately thought of it like how you said it's always funny when somebody, like, when you hit somebody with the microphone. In this, he did it from long distance. He Tom Brady that shit right on.
Just hit him.
Right on him. You think MJF was like, you son of a, how did he do that?
I bet you he would have laughed. I mean, just a good fucking shot. But I got to hit you,
Yeah. It's almost as cool as the Roman Reigns catching the one when fucking, when he just like,
right here. Oh, you think you're going to throw this at me? I got it, motherfucker.
Nerd. Yeah.
So here's the thing, though, that we may need to talk about is Daniel Garcia. His now obsession is MJF. His fetish is to ruin MJF. 2 segments before this, though, Hangman Adam Page's obsession was to ruin Swerve. Can we talk about stories? Now, hey, look, people wanting to fight people over disagreements
this is what we
has
do.
Been,
that's what wrestling is.
Yeah. But the kind of tone of both Hangman and Garcia sound the same.
Yeah.
What say you?
Well, I would say if we were watching another company, they would pit all 4 of these people up in a tag team match at the end of the night.
Yeah, they would.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had not made that connection though. So I will say now the thing is sometimes somebody points something out and now you can't not see it.
Mm-hmm.
So true. I think, and I guess I'm going to be real honest. I love Daniel Garcia, right? He's awesome. I love the dance. I want more Daniel Garcia. But like, I don't mean this to shit on the guy. I kind of forgot that we did this with him. That like we did the MJF angle, damn near killed him kind of thing. I was like, oh yeah. So now him come back, be like, oh, I'm coming after you. Well, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. I don't really have an emotional attachment to it. Maybe that's just because I'm dead inside and
yeah, that's probably it.
But yeah,
But
I just kind of feel I'm almost like, all right, MJF was he was the guy of the company, right? And now he's not, and I get that you take a step back, right? But I felt like he did that in this, like, now he has a lower tier title and he's putting over Ospreay. And as much as I love Daniel Garcia's up and comer, I kind of feel like now he's on the undercard, right? Like now, like how low do we got to bring MJF down, right? And I get it. Great rub for Daniel Garcia, but I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's more we could be doing that didn't have to go to here right now and just be kind of like you said, kind of the same idea as another major storyline we got going on.
Yeah, and again, I've been wrong about, this person is miscast and doesn't really do it well. I do feel though that Daniel Garcia is too cool to be obsessive.
Yes.
You know, as great of a on paper gimmick is Private Party, and we'll get to Private Party in just a second.
He needs to be that kind of gimmick. Yes.
He's the guy.
Yes. If
those
he had
two
some
are
chicks with him, every city
or dudes, right? Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, just almost the not full Adam Rose, right? But like,
well, I'm just saying, whatever you're into. Yeah,
but you know what I mean, like. But but I mean, like, let's just say, like, yeah, he's always got whatever with him, right? Like hanging out,
entourage,
right? He's got an entourage. They're doing the dance, right? He's cool, but like he'll fight you if he needs to, right? Like like almost what we used to advocate for Hook, right? Let's cool Hook up a little bit, right? Where we were like, let's get him out in the strip clubs, or right, like let's get him a little more street, right?
Well,
but I like Daniel Garcia coming up from the I don't want to say ghetto, but like the almost the trailer park, if you will, right? I kind of like that idea of like the cool guy, almost fat chick thriller, if I can, like, but not, it doesn't have to be fat chick, but you get what I mean? Like that kind of like, I ain't supposed to be here, but I'm the cool guy on the fucking scene now. You know what I mean?
Well, honestly, just like his shirt, if you've seen the shirt,
yeah,
it's a cartoon drawing of a 1980s Miami town.
Right.
With like that kind of aura where Swerve Strickland is going to be the most evolved of that. Of that persona. Where, and I'm making this up, let's just say Swerve Strickland has the newest car and 3 chains. Well, Daniel Garcia is going to have the classic Corvette. Well, yeah, the classic Corvette and the one chain that just looks really cool, but obviously if 2
and the wife beater, or bad term for that, but you know what I mean, like that kind of thing, right? Like he's for lack of words, trailer park cool, right? Like this is what I'm saying. Like he's the king of the small town, if you will, right? On the big stage now. That's a way better gimmick that I feel like goes with Daniel Garcia,
obsessive,
right? Than Stone Cold Killer, which again, we know he can wrestle, we know he can, you know what I mean? Do that, but like this doesn't fit. I agree with you. And honestly, that's what was building, right? We were all getting behind the dance and just kind of like, I mean, honestly, Daddy Magic, you know what I mean? Kind of being there. Like that's the kind of shtickish, if you will, right? That gets him over, I think.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, at All Out, MJF says, "You got it." So this match looks to be official. I believe it won't be a normal match. So there's going to be some type of craziness.
They're doing a real good job of, when this first started coming around of like All Out 2 weeks after All In, as they started doing that, we were like, that's rough. But like, they're doing a really good job of it this year, of like doing some logical reasons why we're not just doing a rematch.
Yeah. And why, like, for example, Swerve Strickland just wouldn't say, "I want my title back."
Exactly right. Has a reason to fight somebody. And so does MJF now, and same shit.
Yes. One of the reasons,
albeit they're both for the same reason.
Yes,
Someone to get involved in their match and cost them the thing.
Now, someone who may not be needed in a match, but they were in this one, Chris Jericho and Big Bill, Brian Keith, and Roderick Strong take on the conglomeration of Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy and Hook. The match is the match. Let's just get to kind of the fallout, because I will say it felt like they did a seamless transition of Chris Jericho is now consumed with this angle, and Hook is with Roderick Strong. That's a clean way to say, like, we fought, but here we're going our different ways. I like that. Do I like, though, that, again, we're trying to build Hook up, right?
Yeah.
Is that the goal? Is that the goal?
Yeah,
of
I
the
thought so.
okay. Chris Jericho, veteran. All right, I get maybe you're like, but then you
The
follow
Jericho rub, they thought, right?
right. Yes, exactly. Right. Jericho has big ratings. If he's standing next to him, hey, then I like that guy. Right. But then you follow it up with like Diet Coke Jericho and Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
What the? I mean, look,
And
Jericho's way better, but you get
well,
what I'm
and
saying? Like,
just
come on.
I just again, if the only thing we can come up with for Hook is he has to defend the fucking honor of his dad's goddamn title, I'm no longer thinking he's the coolest guy in the room.
Well, true. Now I will say it all in. One of the coolest moments for me personally
Yeah, true.
was Taz putting on the Taz mission, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
What's up?
But it's just, again, like you said, this is 2 years in a row we did that with Hook, and now we're going to follow it up with do it again.
Yeah. Now there was a question to Tony Khan at the post All In press conference that said, like, hey, is this title a joke? Like, what's Hook continuing to do with it? That was followed up quickly with a tweet from Taz that said, maybe this title has run its course. Stay tuned. Here's the easiest way for me, in my mind, how I could get this off, but then we're still making Hook look cool.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. You just do a title versus title. Hook wins the other person's title, holds that up. We don't ever see the FTW, the ROH heavyweight champion or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like,
and then we forget about the FTW title after 8 weeks.
Yeah, because he's defending the ROH. Because I think ROH is where he needs to go. I don't think he needs to be. I mean, AEW has 36 titles, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. The ROH, if he turns heel and beats up Mark Briscoe, that's super quick and easy to do. Conglomeration, he doesn't like these fucking guys anymore. He keeps it. Tim, Jesus Christ, I'm the greatest man alive. Check this out. Motherfucker, I'm awesome. So this happened, right? He teams up with a conglomeration.
So
yeah, obviously. Obviously, everyone knows this. Big brain. Hook teams up with a conglomeration, and every fucking time he teams up with Orange Cassidy and friends, someone tries to fight Hook. What the fuck? So he dispatches, let's say, in this case, Roderick Strong, and then goes, let's say he wins the blow-off match, right? Then the next night at Dynamite or whatever, the next event, televised event, right? Orange Cassidy just meets him backstage. Is like, hey, good match. And Hook just eats a chip and is like, doesn't say anything, just kind of nods. Mm-hmm. Orange Cassidy then has a match with, I don't know, Brian Cage, right?
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy gets the fucking punch. He's ready to, I don't know, do something, right? Gets into the corner to put his hands in his pocket or something like that. Yeah.
Put his
thumb and about to beat Brian Cage up. Hook comes in, T-bone suplex, motherfucker. And they're like, what? And he's like, all of you guys. And Orange, what? This again, the next night, or the next time. And he goes, here's the thing. I attacked Orange Cassidy. I'm going to get to you in a minute, but I am going to take Mark Briscoe's fucking title. And they're like, bro, what? Like, he just beat, again, let's make it up. He just beat Big Bill to defend his ROH championship. Like, now you want to fight him? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Right now. And then he beats him up. Battered and bruised Mark Briscoe.
And he's got to work him over. Beat him up.
Yeah. And like gnaw on his fucking head in front of the camera. Yep. Like, he doesn't have a tooth. Fucking fish hook that thing. Fish hook.
Make him like put his foot in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, just twist him all up like a pretzel.
Fish hook that motherfucker, and then he pins him. And again, you could say title for title, because that could be Mark Briscoe's thing. He's like, hey, if I'm gonna fucking wrestle you for this and you want this, well, then I want that.
Yeah.
And then,
because I'm all about FTW, right? Like, let's do this. Yeah.
Your dad would even say that. And Taz would be like, I would, on commentary later, right? And then there you go. Now he's the ROH heavyweight champion. We don't talk about the FTW
for 8-9
championship.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Just forget about FTW, especially get him in some feuds that really, are intense, and people forget all about it. Breezy in the chat says dream booking at its finest. Hook would do well with that championship. Title versus title, 100. Big brain. Big brain.
Big brain.
Big brain. Big brain.
And not just with pro wrestling.
The doctor said it. The doctor said as much. They said I had the biggest brain in the world, bigger than anybody else's they'd seen. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, and then they said not even just with one subject. Like obviously he's a genius with pro wrestling.
Subjects, they said so much that they didn't even have a chart for it. They didn't even know how to grade it.
They said he could also do baseball. Don't put Waka in on the 7th if he's reached 90 pitches. Just don't do that.
Biggest brain.
Biggest brain right here.
Big Brain Tom, they called him.
Yep. Big Brain Tom, BBT.
That's what happened when you guys went down in that helicopter, is what they said.
Mm-hmm. Come on, right here. Right. Big brain. All right. So that match happened, and that was fun. Then we go backstage, and their CEO, Mercedes Moné, looked like she's having an office party. That fuck was that? There was one light that was like, I guess, supposed to be strobing, but it just looked like it was out.
Yeah, it looked like it was flickering.
And there's just 3 white people that just got off of work. Like
this is great because this is kind of like a CEO. It's like, can we get the maintenance guy in here to fix this? And they're like, yeah, he'll be here tomorrow. And they're like, God damn it. They're just,
well, it feels like a boss who says, hey, we're having a pizza party and everyone has to go. And no one wants to fucking be there because it's a Friday and it's after 5. And I'd rather watch a football game or go to some, club that actually matters.
In the military that I carried over was mandatory fun. Like you will be on site and you will have fun. You're like, all right.
Yes. That is a great mandatory fun. Yep, we got That's what this felt like. Yeah. Because it was lame as fuck. But here comes Private Party, and they go, you can't have a party without Private Party.
Yeah.
And to
I
his
need
credit,
more of which one is it? The one who's like hitting on her the whole time? Like, I need more of him doing this backstage. Like,
yeah,
he's funny when he's like trying to hit on the ladies. This is
because he's like, I know you're single, and all of that. And then
he aggressively was like, and I know you single, so don't even lie about that shit.
yeah, don't even say you have a boyfriend. We all know you don't.
Yeah, who would date you? You fucking
yeah. So he says that Camille steps in, and Private Party's like, hey.
She started to brick that house. Started to brick a bitch.
But then who came in after her? Okada. And remember, Okada's got the biggest crush on old Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné plays into it a little bit, says, hey, how do you say bye, bitches? And then, he says it. Sayonara, bitches, right? And then, again, I love it. Mandatory fun. Then she just does the fucking waterfall dance or whatever the fuck it's called. Just, look at this. I'm taking a shower. This is what it looks like when you're in the shower. Water goes from your head to your shoulders. Water, shoulders, water, shoulders, hips,
Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
I mean, just do it faster. And that's what she's fucking doing.
We got another chat here. He says, shout out to everyone in the chat, including All Elite Wrap-Up. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from South Bronx, brother BKL Contreras, a.k.a. Sports Entertainment Guy. Well, what's up? Yes, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the shout-out and joining on the conversation. We invite everybody to get in and talk about what we're talking about, like Breezy has done. And he says, appreciate it. It's all as part of my sports entertainment family. As you know, I have everything in wrestling company between AEW, WWE, ROH, and JPWT and much more. Well, that's cool. Yeah, check out Brother BKL Contreras, a.k.a. Sports Entertainment Guy. Check that out as well. And yeah, hang out, man. Hang out. Tom, where were we in our AEW recap?
Well, we get another interview, but this time it's in front of the crowd. Tony Schiavone says, hey, we need to bring out our new AEW Women's World Champion, the Glamour, Mariah May. And Tony is fucking awesome. He's not a great actor, but sometimes he deserves an Oscar. And this was one of them. He gets up there and he's like, what was I saying? He loses his spot a couple times.
It was so great.
He's like, so you're the champ.
Yeah. You were saying you won the title.
Neat. Now, I get it that we had a little bit of the payoff from the "Can I speak now, bitch?" Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
I wish we may have wanted to just play on that a little bit
She should
more.
always fuck with him from now on.
Yeah.
Remember
but
how
him
Bailey
getting
always fucked with Michael Cole at one point because he
Yes.
said something wrong to her?
something, yeah.
And so
just like that.
forevermore it was on site. It was like, hey, you're a bitch.
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
what this should be, yes.
So Mariah May does the, this town sucks gimmick, which was
Yeah.
fun. The shouldn't be
I'm
called
sure it does.
champagne. Yeah, it shouldn't be called champagne. It should be called, what was it, piss beer, something or other.
Yeah, warm, stale, piss water beer or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great.
And then
Which
she-
again,
yeah.
I think even maybe it was Taz or somebody was like, what is college town or whatever?
Yeah, they would drink it. Yeah, they would drink it.
Well,
And
I
then
can
she even
confirm. I
said-
grew up in a college town. I can confirm. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she even says, like, obviously you would put that down your throat, among other things, which was a
Mhm.
great line. And then attention to detail. This is where just attention to detail. Big brain here, just a little attention to detail. So she does I guess I'll make this town special for one night and I'll show you the championship. And she takes off her nightgown, robe, whatever the fuck we're calling that, right? But like, have her music going or something. It's just weird when you go, here, like,
Yeah.
spotlight.
Look at my
music.
body. Yeah.
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 You turn off all the lights, put a spotlight, turn on some fucking
This is
music.
where
Like,
Tony should have done another thing. She should have like closed the robe and she would have been like, that's enough. And he'd be like, what?
huh?
What? Huh?
Who? What?
Huh?
Huh? We're on a show. Oh, yeah, microphone. Yep, got talking to this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna be
No,
right back.
she could have been like, that's enough now. And he'd have been like, yeah, they're gorgeous. What?
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 Mhm.
What'd you say?
I love my wife.
What?
That would have been.
Yeah, I love my wife. That would have been great if she would have been like, and that's enough now. And he would have been like, I love my wife. Just needed to make sure everybody in America knows that. I love my wife.
I love my wife. Yes, that
Samantha,
should be the
honey,
big-
love you.
Yeah. It's Rachel.
Yeah. Let's go get that new car you
Oh.
were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we keep it going with backstage fun,
Mhm.
and we see footage from All In and the grizzled young veterans. They're here,
Mm.
and they talk to the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks are like, "Hey, we've got Young in our name, you've got Young in your name. Isn't that fun?" And the grizzled young veterans are like, "Here's our catchphrase." Okay, I did like that. Even though that motherfucker Matthew Jackson, as he wants to be called, I still don't. Oh God, I just my skin crawls just when I look at him. I just want, like I said to you, I want to push down his child in front of him. Like I just want to, and just be like,
Yeah.
what? Don't you hate that? Just
Yeah.
what? You know,
Uh,
that's how you make me feel.
the sports entertainment guy says, watch your eyes, gentlemen. Don't forget your wife will slap you until she says, excuse me. My wife is the type, she's like, oh, yeah, go for it. Try. You know, good luck. She's like, you fucking 40-year-old man. What are you going to do?
Oh,
I mean? She's like,
Yeah.
she's
yeah.
like, all right, whatever. You want to go try for that? You'll come back with neither. Go for it. You know?
Yeah. My goal when I became a husband was not to be like my dad in the regard of like, oh, you can't talk to that girl. Let me show you how it's done. Like, Jesus Christ, as if like your beer belly's just going to have the magic touch and these women are going to fucking fall over themselves for you. Yeah.
Right. Nope.
The old man of like, why don't you just talk to her? It's because I have anxiety. Fucking, you remember that? What are you talking about? Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I have nothing of value to offer this woman. That's why.
yeah.
I do a podcast, for fuck's sake.
After I say hi, that's about it. Okay.
I am a pro wrestling fan. What,
Yeah.
Don't you understand?
Yeah. Well, she wants to talk about
fun story.
that.
My daughter seeing a new gentleman, right? And she
Okay.
said he was asking questions about the family and stuff like that, and asking things, and he randomly asked, does your dad like pro wrestling? And she was like, oh my God, I cannot believe you just asked me that question. She was like, it is really odd because, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like a little bit. Yeah, he's been doing a podcast for over 10 fucking years about that subject. Yeah.
Hold on. Does he though?
Apparently he does. Yeah, I'm going to have to apparently he does.
Hey,
Right.
tell him to listen.
Yeah, you should be in the chat right now. God damn it.
Yeah. You want to date my daughter?
Yeah, you fucking...
Like and subscribe, asshole.
Yeah, I need to see your thoughts on CM Punk. God damn it.
Yeah. What the fuck? where were we though? Oh, grizzled young vets. So they say they're bullshit, and then they say I will say this. Full disclosure, don't hate me. I hate the name. Grizzled young veterans.
Yeah.
Just oxymoron, dumb shit.
So
Stupid.
to me, I like the guys. I like the way I like their like aesthetic. I like the way they approach. I like their like the way they talk and all that thing, the package. I do not like the name as much as anything else that they do. I do think now they've got like the 2 catchphrases, right? Because we're the grizzled young veterans. And now this grit your teeth thing is a little weird, little rapey.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
like
that oh, good call out. Yeah, yeah. But the non-bald one needs to cut his hair because swear to God, he looks like the twin brother of Alex Reynolds. You're in AEW now.
It's true.
And that motherfucker had the look before you, so you got to change. Like, he's the veteran here. It's like when you join a new football team and your favorite number is like 23 and someone already had 23. It's like, you got to get a new one.
Somebody can't join the Chiefs now with number 15, right? Like, it's gotta go. You got to get a new number, guy. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. So
I've been 15 my whole life until now.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Until now, yeah. Now you're gonna look like Dolph Ziggler when he cut his hair and dyed it black.
Well, I mean, that's what this guy needs to do. Not maybe that drastic, but yeah, right. He looks exactly like Alex Reynolds. Like, just join the Dark Order or get the fuck out.
Shake that image of like Vicky Guerrero being like Dolph Ziggler, and he comes out in that weird hair and he walk around. Just knowing, you can tell he was like, he hates every fucking second of this. It's great.
Yep. Right. But we get to our main event after the grizzled young veterans say that they're going to compete on Rampage, which they're going to compete against the Outrunners. No,
I know. Again, like AEW's missing the plot here, right? Like everybody loves the Outrunners, and then this grizzled young veteran thing. It also hit me. You know, the Young Bucks in their sticky thing was like, oh look, we both have young in our name. You know, at what point
are you young?
35, I'm guessing. Are you not young?
Oh yeah.
And so your grizzled young veteran shtick will be grizzled. And again, like even you guys have been wrestling for fucking, from what I know, several years now. Like, you're no longer young. Like, that's the thing, is the Young Bucks still bothers me too. But like, at some point,
just do EVPs.
Are you just grizzled veterans now? Like,
oh yeah. But like, with the Bucks, they have the EVP. Just call yourself the EVPs.
I got why you became the grizzled young veterans when you hit the indie stage, because you wanted to keep your cred, right? But over here, I might have changed the name here.
Yeah,
I know it's who you are, and far be it from me to tell them, right, how to get over and whatnot. But like, it's one of those where I'm too analytical, maybe too autistic. I don't know. To like sit there and be like, well, you're not young.
Well,
you don't look all that grizzled either. You guys actually look pretty well put together. You're clean cut, pretty well. Like, all right.
Well, like, you know, take it from Little Bow Wow. When he became tall, he just took the little off of his name.
Wow. Yeah.
Just Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Just Bow Wow.
So, maybe when you grow out of one part of your name, take it away. Anyhow, we get to our main event. It is the Dynamite debut of Ricochet. And old Richard here, he takes on, right? Because it's Richard O'Shea.
Yeah, it's Richard O'Shea.
Yeah, Richard O'Shea.
He's
he takes on. Kid. Yeah, is it? Yeah. Right? He takes on Kyle Fletcher. Here's
that happened.
Okay. So I liked how it was like, hey, because Don Callis basically made this match. It was like, oh, everyone thinks you're the cool guy. You know, my guy is the next future of this shit. Yeah. And so logistically and storyline wise, made sense. Cool, great, not a problem. Moving forward, though, let's stop this. Just like, if this wasn't the story, let's just give Ricochet a fucking jobber. Like, we don't, and we don't have to have a move and move and a move and a move.
Yeah, because I thought we were pushing Kyle Fletcher a few weeks back. I thought we were
all but also,
everybody loves Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, so yeah, either Kyle Fletcher today kind of sucks, or Ricochet is not that great because this guy hasn't won shit here and he barely beat him.
Took everything he's got. And you know what also stuck out to me was, you know, part of one of the little video packages, we've seen a bunch from Ricochet now that he's all elite, right? One of his phrases was finally ready to give people the Ricochet they've been wanting to see, right? But I tell you what I hear that everybody is like, it's never been that like we don't get to see Ricochet in matches. They did that plenty much over there. It's that they were saying he should be in like world title storylines and all that jazz and everything. And I'm like, the reason they didn't do that over there is the same reason they probably won't do it over here, is because like I don't think that's in him. Like, I don't think he's got the storyline chops to be anything more than this. So no, I think we got the Ricochet over there that we get here. They highlighted the thing you do best over there, the flips and shit with people. You get in some matches with people who know how to do that well, and they did it well over there. That's what they're going to do here, and that's all they're going to do here, really. Like, we're going to get some feuds, but, like, they're going to be around that. It's going to be about, I'm the best, right? Like, I don't see anything else coming out of him yet. I want to be wrong. But
yeah, that's the thing. Because here's where I will kind of push back, at least initially, is potentially because we didn't hear Ricochet cut a promo, right? The promos that we've heard him cut were WWE, and from what we've always heard, it was, and line 6 says, pause, no, I'm going to be the champion, right? And so he's just, and so he might say, so if he comes out, kind of like a John Moxley, Dean Ambrose thing, right?
True.
If he comes out and is just like, you thought that motherfucker was crazy? No, this motherfucker's crazy, right? If he could do oh, you thought that motherfucker was a competitor? No, I'm the coolest guy fucking here. Because one angle that he has that Will Ospreay, who then comes out after this match, brought up in an interview that I thought was interesting that he could run with. Because he is also not the youngest guy on this roster, right? Will Ospreay said in some interview that I saw where he was like, people need to remember that he started all this. Like, we had that match, but like, I looked up to him and all these guys that are doing this style look so similar to what we were kind of wanting from Edge. Yeah, but similar to what we were kind of wanting from Adam Copeland, Edge, with the like, oh, you guys all think I'm an easy target because I'm old. We could do something with Ricochet. It was like, oh, you guys think that flips the coolest.
Here's what I would do with Ricochet.
Here's my fucking finisher.
So anybody like that, a Kyle Fletcher, right? They do a thing. They do something in a match. Cool move. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, he's the shit. So next week, Ricochet comes out and he's like, that was really cool when you did that thing. Reminded me of when I did it the first time back in, 14 against whatever, and we blew the roof off the Tokyo Dome. Be like, yeah, all of you try to copy my shit, right? I'm going to take it back tonight, right? And tonight I'm beating your ass for it. And that's what they do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beating you with that move. Yeah. With the move you thought was so cool, I'm going to beat you with it.
Yeah, the move you stole from me. And then
look, something to that point, no offense to Ricochet, I couldn't tell you his finisher, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
know what I'm saying?
I just know he does a lot of moves, but I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So if your thing is, oh, you think your shit's cool? I'm going to do it better than you. That's a cool dunk. You know what I mean? That's a cool dunk on people.
Into the, like we say, we care less about the, okay, you do the flips and shit. Well, so does this guy does the flips and shit. And so does this guy does the flips and shit. I need a story and a psychology involved with it for it to matter. Now we're introducing that shit, right? Yeah. Now, if the reason I'm going up to above the ring to jump off of the light rig to do a triple spinning over your ball sack plancha dive is because I can do it better than you.
Right. Yeah. That would be something interesting. Because again, apparently he birthed this. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know who did it. I thought it was Shawn Michaels, but
carried it around for 9 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, I thought it was Shawn Michaels who kind of started this
Ultimo
whole thing.
Dragon.
Any of those people. But hey, Ricochet, maybe he did it. I don't know.
Steiner back in the 80s anyway.
Scott Steiner, motherfucker, kind of did some shit that Mexican wrestlers did.
I'll make him bleed.
Oh God, I love him so much. Fucking love him so much. He's a psychopath.
This fat son of
Love it. I love it. So after the match with Ricochet, after he won, here comes Will Ospreay. And it looks like he's going to be like, welcome to AEW. He lays his title down, which felt like you want to cross this barrier.
I think it was one of those like, we can do this again. Run it back.
And which was great because the nonverbals told you, oh, we're going to do this soon or whatever. And Pac, before Will Ospreay could even say anything,
before he could lift his arms all the way up, he goes, whop.
does the flippy-roo thing on his head, whop, hits him, and then I like what he said here. He goes, "Hey Ricochet, welcome to AEW. Get in the back of the line."
Yeah.
Because I'm at the start of it. It's me first. You know what I mean? I like that. That's a cool thing to say to the new guy.
Is they mentioned that these guys have a professional rivalry, but that they also had a friendship and a respect for each other. Ricochet sure took a long time to get down there to help this friend.
New to the company. He didn't know where to walk, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do I get back
Wait,
up?
am I left? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can I exit?
Oh, that's what happened. The camera guy was in the way and they did this like
Yeah.
left-right thing where you can't get by somebody. You know what I mean? That's probably what happened.
Yeah. So he's like, and I'm exhausted. Can I exit camera side? I don't know what to do here.
Yeah,
right.
bro.
So he may have even done
Sports
something
Entertainment guy says, please don't remind me, Pac. Pac, you better watch it. Man.
The bastard.
We could get a triple threat of these guys flipping and spinning all over the place. That could be something.
Another good example of, hey, Neville came over, right? Let's say Neville came over. Okay, was it? But Pac is a fucking motherfucker, right? Like this
Pac,
guy's the shit.
With just a change in basically attitude and demeanor.
Yeah.
Didn't really do a whole lot to the look or anything like that or create a whole new character. It was just, oh no, now I'm allowed to be me.
Yeah.
So maybe we get that with Ricochet. Maybe he's a real suave, cool dude. Yeah.
He does have a little bit to him, right? He wrestles in a gold chain. He kind of.
Oh, no, I'm sure Ricochet, the dude, might be one of the coolest dudes we've ever met. We mean nothing to disparage him, right? Like, he could be super awesome.
Yeah. And as we've kind of got some new people in the chat coming and going, talking to us, and we always want to caveat this with all of our talk of these individuals is television.
Yeah,
now, some of them go by their real names, so it's hard to like differentiate, but we're always talking about what we see on TV. Yeah. Unless you're CM Punk. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck him. He sucks. Because I was going to say, Ricochet, to his credit, I've never seen him compete or anything. He throws good punches. He does like legit punches. Like, it's good. Right. I bet he could box. I bet he could box if he doesn't already box.
We were never indie guys. And we were WWE dudes, and so we saw Ricochet in the WWE version. So I am positive and patient. And NXT,
The NXT, when he does the flippy shit to the Dream. What was that guy's name? I'm the Dream. Who was that guy?
Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream. Remember when he did the flip thing? And credit to Velveteen Dream. Yeah, but credit to Velveteen Dream when he was like, like he sold it too. If he would have just been like, might not have been cool.
Who did Velveteen Dream do the Say My Name with?
Not him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
Oh, was it Aleister Black?
Maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Look at me. Big brain. Goddamn, I'm great.
Maybe it was. Somebody correct us if we're wrong. Yeah, that whole thing where like you got to say my name or basically it was. Yeah,
I think it was Aleister Black again. Okay. Big brain.
That makes sense. Head games.
We get to after that. So again, Will Ospreay's taken up by Pac. Pac says next week, at All Out, I'm gonna kick your ass, take your title, suck it. Cool. I like that. Then we get the John Moxley thing that we already spoke about.
Except Ospreay looked like he had just got like out of the gym, like he was in his, for that whole segment, like he was in his running shorts. You know what I mean?
look, that guy has a cool presence. I will say that he's cutting promos better than I expected.
Oh,
he ain't gonna win, but he ain't gonna win. Best getting off the bus award. You know what I mean? Like he kind of looks very average.
Yeah.
In his clothes as well. But
bruv.
Sure. We get our newest champion, AEW Men's World Heavyweight Champion, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, addressing his future because Tim, as he said, end of this year, I'm fucking done, brother. Okay. Right?
I'm broken. Need neck surgery sooner rather than later. My family is ready for me to be home.
But I ain't leaving yet, he says, which was fun. And the crowd
for a minute though, I thought we were getting that where I said he could win this and then retire the next night and give it up, right?
Yeah, they
I thought we were going there for a hot second. I was like, oh shit, we're doing it. Then he Mark Henry'd us.
Yeah, so he did the whole after trying and losing, I'm your champion. Thank you, Brian. That's the greatest night of my life. Oh, okay, great. So in 2 weeks. We've got a young, hungry locker room. Who wants the first shot? Jack Perry does, you motherfucker. Wop, wop. Hits him in the face. Does all the fun stuff.
Well, we got a little mini promo from him, too, on, like, your bitch, basically,
Yeah. You don't know your future, but I know mine. Let me connect the dots.
Yeah, he was like, he said, my future, whatever, is in front of me. Yours is behind you, and then he's behind him. Great, good stuff though. Except the future's not behind you. You should, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get what I get. You know, you had to do some wordplay there.
Yeah, well, Bryan Danielson also thinks that if you fight for your dreams will fight for you. Which, nope.
Nope.
That's not how dreams work.
Nope. Haven't had $1 million fight for me yet.
Never had a dream fight for me ever. So here's the thing. Jack Perry, it looks like, at All Out will be taking on Bryan Danielson. Good way for breaking kayfabe, because Chicago is a twat city, it feels like, for pro wrestling. They'll do the CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. There's just so many people that you get. There's just so many bad. There's a lot of good in Chicago, like some good wrestling crowd fans and stuff.
Yes, but
there's just so many that they can drown them out. There's so many bad.
Yeah,
there's so many people in Chicago. And they live in Chicago. So, like, you know.
What else do they have to look forward to?
Yeah.
It just stinks for them. You know what I mean?
Think if you were a Bears fan, you'd be a pretty miserable fuck.
Yeah, if deep dish pizza was what you were known for, just fucking dough
Pepperoni
in a
quiche.
fucking
yeah.
yeah. Fuck that gross ass shit. It's fine.
Right.
But here's the thing that so Jack Perry beats Darby Allin at All In a coffin match. Now, cooler moments of the night was he goes to light it on fire with the help of the EVPs.
Mm-hmm.
Sting comes back. Metallica Seek and Destroy.
And walk.
Yeah, and he chases him off. Now, it's also kind of you what the fuck is the point of a coffin match when then Darby Allin just walks back with Sting? Everything's fine. See ya. Yeah. Right?
Not even a cough, let alone dead.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Was crazy, though, that Darby Allin somehow put those thumbtacks on his face and wrestled with it.
Yeah.
What a psychopath. What a psychopath. Yeah.
You could told me he had them like surgically implanted in his face.
Wouldn't shock me. Yeah. Like, yep.
Yeah. We still,
out.
And I get it, it's Sting and it's pro wrestling and we have our moments and Hogan must pose, but like, it's coffin match. You guys have been all over the arena. You guys beat the shit out of everybody left and right all the time. Weapons in hand all around you. And a 60-year-old man is walking down with a baseball bat. And oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's Sting.
No.
It's Sting, goddammit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's Sting. Though. Right. Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite part of that whole segment, though? I don't know if anyone caught this. So earlier in the night, when it was the 3-team tag team championship match with the Acclaimed, FTR, and the EVPs end up retaining, right?
Yep.
They walked out, the EVPs that is, as the Sgt. Pepper Beatles look, right? Both of them had these 1960s mustaches, all the stuff. Nicholas Jackson shaved in between that match and then coming out to then attempt to burn Jack Perry alive. Yeah. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it's the dumbest thing to think. Guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to shave this mustache and walk out.
He's backstage. Like, let me shave this off real quick because I didn't want to grow this, but your stupid fucking idea for this cosplay. That's probably what it was. This is his brother's idea, and he's like, I had to grow this mustache for 9 fucking weeks for you. And let me shave this shit off. My wife hates this.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, Travis Kelce, EVPs, those guys, the people that can just I can manipulate my facial hair to be whatever I want it to be within 9 to 12 business days. Fuck off.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hate it. You.
Huh?
You've had that chin strap since as long as I've known you. Fucking get a mustache.
Like but I could, because I'm not. I don't know what this is, but like when I see a mustache. Oh, let me fix this camera here again real quick. When I see a mustache, I instantly just think molester. And I know like the kids these days have brought mustaches back, right? But like
you haven't
so I can't necessarily do that. I can't do the like twirly stuff because it's just like thick and hairy, but I can get like the full beard and then thus like any kind of shaping you want. Like I could do all the things. I used to do the rock chops back in the day, like the real extended ones. People used to hate me for that because they're like, I want to do that. But the problem is like it takes a lot. You got to sculpt that shit. It sucks.
Man, you don't grow a beard for Christmas and walk around being Santa.
It's itchy. And it's red. It's all red. My beard
You
is
can
red.
dye anything in red. Who cares? No
No.
one's accurately saying that fucking Santa Claus wasn't a redhead.
So we did have one guy when I was working in the military. He was a civilian who worked in with us, and so he would do the thing where he'd grow a full beard, and then he would shave little by little off and do some kind of ridiculous white trash thing along the way, each way down.
Yeah,
and so for like weeks, he's got some weird, crazy facial hair, and that's when we would be like, "All right, you're working the window today."
Yeah,
going up there.
I can't grow facial hair to save my fucking life, but yeah, you're
like
out
Joe
here
Dirt.
saying.
Like, so you're telling me your facial hair grows in all patchy and white trashy like that?
if I could flip my neck beard to my face, I'd be fine. But it's all just neck.
It's all
Sucks.
neck beard, huh? Well,
all neck beard. Sucks.
It's all right.
But what I was going to say,
the neck beard, I heard,
is Jack Perry wins the coffin match. He retains his championship, which it just always, I'm always checked out when lower ranked champion goes for world heavyweight championship.
Yeah, because I don't believe it.
Because he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Unless it's being what I'm saying, unless it's being billed as that, right? Unless it's these two people, champion versus champion. Okay, you can maybe have me some, but when you just do something like this where it's like, oh, we're just gonna do a match because he doesn't like him. Well, I know he's gonna fucking lose, right? Here's the interesting part.
To me, it's just a waste of the lower belt because like we could have got that from Jack Perry anytime.
Yeah, exactly. We could have Darby Allin win this and then Jack Perry winning the championship. May happen, right? That could easily happen. Here's what I think is interesting, though. Easy booking would say we don't see Darby Allin till All Out. EVPs and Jack Perry find a way to get a 3-on-1 to take down Bryan Danielson to take his title right when they're about to take his championship. Darby Allin comes out on a skateboard, chases them all off. Darby Allin's the best, right? Well, at the start of this show, Jon Moxley said, hey, Darby Allin, you better pay attention to me. So Bryan Danielson could obviously just beat Jack Perry, and that doesn't make Jack Perry look bad necessarily, but interesting booking decisions we have here to see how we're going to get out of this with everyone looking okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see, again, Darby Allin is now being called out by Moxley. So that kind of throws a wrinkle in some of this Jack Perry feud with Darby Allin, which I didn't get the feel was just dead now. Right? Like, I didn't get that feeling that, like, okay, we ended this story now. It feels very unfinished. So.
No, that couldn't happen. I instantly thought, is Jon Moxley joining the EVP, the elite thing? Like, is he and Marina Shafir going to be the muscle of, but that couldn't happen because you have Okada and he's kind of the muscle.
And Moxley doesn't really answer to people well. He's very anti-authority. Right. Yeah.
Unless he's a mercenary, unless him and Marina Shafir are the man and woman versions of mercenaries for the division.
Where I would sell that is you show that the EVPs had a meeting with Moxley and they're like, look, we agreed. Like, we may not like each other and we may both not want this for the same reasons, but we agree the company was not being run properly. Right?
Because isn't that
my
the
enemy is my friend, right? Like,
because isn't that the Elite's calling card here? Is hey, Tony Khan, you fucked things up for too long. Yep. We need to take back what is ours. We started this.
Yeah, along with that guy, as much as we hate to admit it, right? Like, Moxley, you know what I mean? Like, we need to get back to the essence of what this was.
Man, unless we're doing something dumb.
We could get so many great. Remember the like stare downs between Wardlow and Swagger? We could get that with like Okada and Moxley in the background. Like, we could get some good stuff there.
Unless, oh no, this kind of makes me sad.
We figured this out. It's the third hour of Dynamite. It's Dynamite Underground. It's Shane McMahon.
Well, but what I'm saying though is the company aspect though. If we're not paying attention and we're losing the story here, if Moxley's story is we're taking the company from X, but the Elite story is we're taking the company from Tony. Well, now we got the same fucking story like Daniel Garcia and Hangman Adam Page. Oh no. Don't do that.
Or Moxley thinks we're taking the company, for this reason. Young Bucks think they're taking it for this reason. Tony Khan's like, bitches, neither of you are taking it.
Yeah, that's hopefully
Maybe Tony Khan has said, Moxley, I need your help.
oh, oh, he's working for Tony Khan. He doesn't have any muscle. EVPs are taking this shit over. They've got all the championships right
Yeah,
now.
who gives a fuck less about their power?
Yeah.
John Moxley. And feels like
Oh.
he owes AEW his lifeline, John
Uh-huh.
Moxley.
I mean, he said it
Whose
to
wife
Tony
still works
Schiavone.
for me, John Moxley.
Yeah. Now, he did say it to Tony Schiavone, right? Not necessarily, but that
But
could have
if he
just
knows
been
they're
a
in the
warning
back-
shot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have just said a warning shot.
This is not your company anymore. Dudes in the truck who, every time we're supposed to leave, they're back there looking at the papers, running the show, right?
Hitting the wrong button and then not crying and all the Okada stuff. Ooh. What if that's the angle?
Could be.
Because I feel like they were attempting to do something with Kenny Omega's the other EVP, so he's going to fight against the Elite.
Right.
Now
we
breaking
can't do that.
kayfabe,
Right.
breaking kayfabe, it seems like he's going to take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we do it this way.
What if it's an anonymous GM?
Tim, I hope K-State never wins a fucking game this year if you saying that bullshit.
It's Hornswoggle. All right.
Damn it.
So
He is a free
that's how
agent.
Dynamite ended, right? Like we yeah.
Jack Perry saying, gonna kick your ass in Chicago. Again, makes sense if we're breaking kayfabe again, because they're gonna do the whole stupid chanting of Punk. Bryan Danielson wins that crowd over because he can win every single. That's the greatest quality that Danielson has. I don't necessarily think that he's like the ratings draw of a great all-timer John Cena, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, right? But there is no one better. Even prime Hulk Hogan, I don't know. Hulk Hogan could fucking make a crowd do whatever he wanted. But wrestling wise, no one has ever done it better than Bryan Danielson. I mean, in the All In pay-per-view, the main event, when he was getting kicked, the no kicks to the chest, and he's yelling to his family that he loves them. I love you. Wow. I love you so much. Wow. Oh, man. I don't have kids, but I would have fucking hugged one of them. Maybe.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
not.
true. Like during the course of a match with in-ring actions, yeah, Hogan had like he's if Danielson's not number one, it's Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now other people can
Danielson
get a crowd to do things, right? Like The Rock can get a crowd to do some things, but
Oh,
you're right, like,
yeah.
the moment in a match, like I can with a
yeah.
simple point and like get you to do whatever I want. Yeah.
Heel or babyface. That's the thing, right? Because Hogan with the NWO stuff could be like, ha ha, and a little cheap shot and like, motherfucker, right? Or then again, the babyface stuff, the Hulk. That's what I was telling you during one of the matches. Like, we're still doing, we're
Danielson
still
was hulking
doing,
up.
yeah. So for as much as Terry Bollea sucks as a human, he does. The Hulk Hogan character, goddamn.
I know.
We're still using that playbook. You can talk all the shit that, he doesn't, that same.
Yeah, the whole, even if you're like, I like wrestling for the wrestling and the moves and not the storylines, I bet some of your favorite wrestlers still do the Hulk up, right? With their version of it of like, oh no, now your moves have no effect on me.
Yeah.
And the tides have turned. Yeah. Several matches did that during All In.
Oh, yeah. Several. Yeah. And I know, Dusty Rhodes, but let's be honest. It's called hulking up for a reason.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Someone mastered it. You know what I mean? Right. So, anyhow, Bryan Danielson, awesome. Interesting. John Moxley's the most interesting thing coming out of this episode, I think. What says you?
Yeah. Yeah, the John Moxley thing, just because we don't know where it's going, what's up in the air, right? Everything else, I like the storylines where they're going, you know what I mean? Like how we're kind of moving people away from other things. We're clearly going in different directions now. I like that. I like it. I like that oddly enough, I do like that we're going into another big event here with All Out. I like how they did this. It doesn't feel too close together, which it did last year, but it doesn't this time around.
And with Moxley, I think the thing that also gives me confidence is it's not, no offense to him, but it's not Wardlow saying this is no longer your company, because that's a fuck, right?
Yeah,
What
it's
are we
like, oh,
doing?
Jesus,
Right?
what is Wardlow going to say? But Moxley is the dude.
Moxley, yeah,
Mhm.
and he has the credibility with the stories to be like, oh no, this is going to be something, right?
Mhm.
So that's the other part of it. It's who said it as well. So
no, AEW All Out is next week. We will make picks so that the loser will have to wear this fucking shirt again, which I lost the All In picks.
let's keep
I
it.
lost the last one before that too. Anyway.
And the one before that.
And the one before that. Jesus Christ. And I think the shirt's shrinking. I really do. I can't be getting fatter. Yeah, Champ Danielson. So All Out is coming up. We'll do some picks next week. We may not probably get a watch along pulled off at the Comedy Club for this one, just because of how quick the turnaround is and the scheduling difficulties. But stay tuned for more potential watch alongs at the Comedy Club of Kansas City. If you're in the Kansas City area, check out our friends at the Comedy Club of Kansas City and Dustin Kaufman over there. They do an awesome job. Go get some tickets, watch some fun comedy. And geez, I don't know what else to say. Please join us like our good friends have done here on the YouTube chats, like Sports Entertainment Guy, Breezy, and all the folks who normally join us each week. Hit us up, allelitewrapup.com. You can subscribe completely for free. That's where you'll get all the updates of what days we're going live. Typically Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays, like next week. We're doing it Wednesday because the Chiefs play on Thursday, and come on, we're going to watch the Chiefs. And what else, Tom? Donate when you're out there at allelitewrapup.com, right? Oh, hit us up at the Gmail, aewrapup@gmail.com. You send us an email. You send us a
Beer
video
sponsor of the
message.
week.
Beer sponsor of the week. You can send us some money on those donations. Be the beer sponsor of the week. But if you email us at aewrapup@gmail.com, anything, video, phone call, email, we might discuss it right here on the show next week. So, Tom, next week,
Goodbye.
we're going to make some picks that will eventually earn you this shirt back, and I'm excited about it.
Haha, keep it the shirt.
All right. We'll be back next week for more All Elite Wrap Up.
Time.